Beautiful question again. Now, again, this is why it is important that we must have very strong constitutions. Strong constitutions give way to birth strong institutions. Okay? What's a constitution? It's a body of laws that govern a state, a region, a country, or whatever you may call it. That's your constitution, right? Now, if you have a sustainable constitution, what do you do to ensure that that constitution succeeds? Then you go the next step by building some very important institutions. For example, I say this a lot, and I'm going to say it again. The police force is indispensable in the Southeast, in Nigeria, in Africa, in the world. The police force is indispensable because you see, you have the legislatures and you have the executives, right? But you see, whatever law is developed in a region has to be enforced. And whose duty is it to enforce it but the police? So you see why our police is important, but we are not actually attributing that much importance to them. And so that's why the people we employ in our police force are people with standard 6, how do you call it, WAEC. Okay. Some of them don't even have up to 5 credits. So we think that policing is not that important, and so we give it to the people, the lowest of the lowest in society. But that's wrong. That's wrong. We should be able to develop, like I said, first, a strong constitution, strong laws. And then the next level will be to ensure that we have a sustainable and credible police force. And so how can you do that? Ensure that the police force is structured in such a way that it will attract the best minds in the society. Because these are the people that are going to be enforcing our laws. True. These are people who are going to be bold enough to say to a senator, you have broken the law, and then I'm going to arrest you for doing that. Do you understand what I'm saying? These are the people who should be able to stop a senator on the street for breaking traffic rules and not care that he's a senator and actually put him under arrest if it means giving him a ticket for that crime and give him a ticket without caring who he is. These are the people that should do that. And so they should not be people who suck up to people. Do you understand? They should be people with self-esteem, people that are well-educated, people that are earning enough salaries, people who are able to rent their own homes or even own their own homes, people that are driving good cars, people whose children go to the best schools. Who's that person? It's a person with self-esteem. And so we must be able to structure the police force by, first of all, funding them properly. In the annual budget, we must have enough money going to the police force. You have to dress them well to begin with. They have to wear classy uniforms. Okay. Like the rest of the Western
you think that
countries.
Has any impact in
it does. The man has to be respectable. I mean, what is the basic principles of branding? His looks. Okay. And so if something is looking shabby, you won't respect it. So if the man is dressed properly and wearing good shoes that are properly polished, right, and he's speaking well, do you understand? I say if it's possible, and even ensure that every police officer has to be at least 5'5". You're building charisma in the police force. That when the man stops and talks to you, you can't help but respect the man. Then you look at him and he's respectable, and then he opens his mouth. The kind of wisdom that's coming out from his mouth, the way he knows the law, you can't help but respect the man. You'll be afraid to even offer him 1,000 naira. Because if you're looking at his shoes and looking at his clothing and looking at the car he's driving, you'll be afraid to give him money as a bribe. So first of all, that's absolutely very important. We have to get it right. Because if you don't get the police force right, nothing else will fall into place. If the police force is gotten right, then the politicians will be afraid. That, they're going to come after me. And that's what they're going to do because that's what they're trained to do, right? So that's how we can achieve, that continuity. So when we put these two in place, then what we're going to do is develop that master plan that I talked about and enshrine it in the law, and so everybody has to follow it. And so when people don't follow it, you can be sure that they are police officers who are going to do the right thing, and the right thing will be to enforce the law. And so once these things are in place, it will be a gradual process, but it will become cultural, customary, and Yadiba used to it. We had to get used to doing the right things, and somebody has to make us do the right things. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah.